Good day to all. Peace unto all. So I came on to talk about it was a heavy message that was coming in while I was walking, and it popped back up again. And but earlier I was just resting just now because I realized that I need to sleep more. Because when I'm sleeping, my body goes through a lot. But then them people come around with their magic. But the message was when I was walking was that um, within all confusion or mental illness that you see with a person, because a person hating on another person, it's just the act of mental illness. They have mental illness. Because what is it about a person that you gotta go up against them? Why you don't cultivate yourself? You feel me? Why don't you look at you and build yourself? So it was saying every act that a man do of his outside source is the act of an internal destruction. Meaning he have internal things that he needs to work on, that he's afraid of, that he can't face up to, that he can't stand up to. Before we go ahead, we all understand that life is a thing where we were born in the world where we were programmed to accept certain things. So certain things that we accept, we stand on it boldly until we grow up old enough to question it. And that's why you gotta question everything you see in life. But there is no disrespect to anyone out there that have stand on anything that they have learned in life. It's just to say, when my downloads come in, they break down the act of society. But it was saying, what is war? What is the act of war? What is the act of a man going to war against another man that bleeds flesh and that have flesh and blood just like him? Now, when you look at it, the message was saying it is the act of puppetry. They are all puppets under the control of one group or entity. Like I said, America, so-called America, is nothing but an entity. So it's an act of puppetry under and that entity. That entity is controlling them. In the act of putting programs within the mind to let another man look at somebody who is just as him or her as the enemy. For instance, there is no need for us to be at war. It was saying that all military and army and so forth should be the police of the world, meaning they are of just one thing that's policing the world, that's bringing forth the real and true justice towards everything. They are the one that go there and discover all this stuff and bring it back. It was saying that's how it is to be, but because the act of greed within one man that knows of this programming, he cultivated an idea to send you to go destroy another that is just of you for his greed. So he's just promoting his greed. He's holding up his greed. He is cultivating your mind to act on his behalf instead of your behalf. Because once you take your power back, he wouldn't be able to destroy in that act or let you destroy another that is just like you. And also, when you look at nations, this is the realm of Atlantis. Everything within this was of one. There was no separation until those ideals start coming in, where each man want to have a nation for themselves. And also, it was once like that, but it was never the act of war. You feel me? It was all the act of trading. But this is the realm of Atlantis. Everything was of one. Until now, all these changes come about where you see now everybody have a nation and nation fighting against nation and so forth. But when you look at it, it's funny. And in the act of why it's a puppetry thing is the fact that all these same nations trade with each other. They all trade. Russia and America trade. China and America trade. All of them do trade. So where is the act of the war coming from? Why is there war? Why are there people fighting against each other when all these nations you see trade amongst each other? So now when you look at it, you can see that through the discovery of how many of these wars happen, it's the act of greed. Somebody wants something that the other have. So it's an action of greed in the act of material. So now you see you're playing with an entity that take you from the act of self to portray something on the outside. So that is the act of destroying God, which is nothing but you. You are destroying you because that entity take you away from self. So the download was saying everything that you see that a man do is of an internal destruction because he is not one with self. Just like how in America we have this ongoing thing of racial racial action and white supremacy. All these words that's just an action of, once again, somebody not looking at themselves. Because if you truly look at yourself, those words wouldn't confine you or even put any thoughts in your mind to say another man have power over you. Because it's all your power that they're using against you. But within that, if you and I go to war together as one and standing on one nation, why is it that when we come back to the same nation, I'm being looked down on? One of us is being outcast. One of us is not being upheld in the right way. So when you look at that, where is the true war need to be taking place? It is within. It is within that nation that war needs to be taking place, because it is an internal destruction. It's going to destroy the nation one day because there's no oneness within that one nation that is trying to put you and I together to go to war against something else. So when the war within start, the outer world is gonna reflect in the outer world, because now I'm gonna want to destroy you. You feel me? Meaning in the nation, if you and I start warring against the ideal of the entity within the nation, it's gonna happen when we get put on the front line. So where is the true idea behind everything that you do? And that is why I say when you look at self brings forth the ideas of what you truly need to act on. That's why you see when people start looking at themselves, they go about and want to live away from society. Everybody that you see look at self want to be away from society, because it's the act of the pull towards the true I can't say the word sovereignty, meaning your action within yourself knows that this is true sovereignty. When you are around something that is not true about you, you are to break away from it, because there is no such thing as something happening that is meant for you. Nothing in this world doesn't happen in the way of destruction that is meant for you. It is you who accept onto it. It is your acceptance. Everything is your acceptance. But yeah, the message was saying, everything is an internal destruction. So with the puppetry now is you who need to look at the inside nation that is sending you to war. Question the action that is being performed. Because if you truly look at it, man is sent to war without even knowing of the true action of what's being performed. But once again, it's no disrespect toward those who have stand boldly within the act of what they're performing. We have all been programmed in a set way, and who is to say not to stand boldly in what you know? It's just to say of question all and everything. Don't let the all generation fall under the same puppetry. But yeah, that is the message that was coming in while I was walking. It was more, but like I say, while I fast and heal, I remember most of it. But yeah, the action of what you do is all self. So where self will take you to war with what really needs to go to war. Because we all have one enemy, which is the one entity that takes us from us. Who know themselves truly? You feel me? Who truly know themselves? Because if every man know themselves, there wouldn't be no form of destruction. If every man know themselves, everything will be of one. That means there won't be any border or any paperwork that you need to go to another nation. It will just be another world that you can explore freely. Because if God created all things, that means all things is of you. You feel me? But that is my message for this evening. And I thank you. Bye.